point of the night we call the fighting round, where we just take it down. I have 2 questions for all the candidates. However, the time is cut to 30 seconds. This is the best job you could ever have, people. You just call the shots and watch it happen. The first question, and I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it before. We're going to start on this side of Demetrius and go all the way down here, and then the second question we'll do the loop back. Your first question today. Communication with the SRC and the student body is a continual challenge. How can the SRC improve communication with the student body? What kinds of approaches could we expect you to take should you be elected? And we'll start off with Demetrius down here. Feel free to just pass the mic along.
My idea is organize more events. Something like that, where the representative from the student council can answer all of your questions.
It's very important for the SRC to be very, very approachable. And myself as VP Academic would like to bridge the gap between the social events that go on here and the academic events, ensuring that everybody really takes advantage of that academic business experience as well. We'll definitely have an open door policy. My office will be your office with hopefully an approachable face that you can come to, and you can trust that I will represent you well towards faculty and staff.
Alright, so with communication, it's got to be a two-way street. We have to be getting input as well as informing people as what's going on. As we social running events, people need to show up to these events. So using social media, the YouTube videos that we've done a lot this year, they've been a great success in bringing people to events, and I want to continue that.
So this year the SRC has made some great strides in working with communication. We have 2 communication managers, one that is writing, one that is with social media. That's something I'd like to continue for next year to kind of hit all aspects of trying to communicate with you, the student body. Like Emma said, it's also still a two-way street though. We want to find ways to hear what you want to say. Because if this is through surveys or having an open door so you can come at any time, or opinion articles in the canvas, we'd like to hear what you can say so we can help form our own discussions and what our beliefs are based on you guys as the student body.
Every other candidates, it has to be open door, as well as we need to know what you guys want. That's the only way that anyone in the SRC can do their job officially, is to know exactly what the students want, and that's the only way that we can progress in the situation.
First of all, we need to get organized. So we need to make an action plan as the SRC of how to get the communication flowing. Second, once that is created, we need to be able to manage that. We need to be able to manage our employees and the whole team of the SRC so that everyone's on the same page. Thirdly, when we are communicating with students, we need to be able to do it in a variety of ways because everyone has so many busy schedules and people are drawn into different things that they need to be able to get it done in a different way.
I know a lot of people, we send daily dish almost every day, the SRC does, to announce different events going on campus, and people just don't read it. The best thing to do is to use social media. So there's a Twitter account, there's a Facebook account, there needs to be maybe an Instagram account also would be great. Another thing that would be good to do is as VP to try to integrate into the clubs. Clubs work directly with the student body, so going to the meetings and going to the different events that clubs hold, I think is a great way to communicate.
Alright, the second action is your last question until we open the floor to juicy questions. The last one for me though at least. A continuing challenge with hosting events on campus is getting students involved and attending. Events can often be more attractive to certain groups, depending on networking, discipline of place, communication, etc. How would you actively work to engage a wider diversity of the student body, on campus, off campus, local, rural, new, and old students?
The important thing is to talk to students. The important thing is to get out there and talk directly one-on-one. A lot of people, you send a Facebook event, they ignore it. You have to try to make it a one-on-one conversation with everybody. That's the best way to get people to do the events. And another thing is to try to do more diverse events, because it's usually always the same kind of events going on and on and on, which is why people do not want to attend. So the best thing to do is to try to diversify the events and to communicate one-on-one.
I think it's very important to have a good relationship with the students and understand how they want to be contacted. So by us speaking with the students and getting some information back from them and us giving them information in the way that they want it, they will be more prone to actually pay attention and get involved. And I think that the things that they're getting involved with need to be a variety and stuff that appeals to them. And every single year it changes with a different spectrum of people in our community.
I think the best option is to actually work through the clubs that work through the SRC and use their systems and their policies to actually get events going. Use business students to get into the businesses of Expo. Use education students to get into the classrooms. That's the best option, I believe, for getting events killed with Expo and the using branches in general.
In terms of attendance, I know in previous years everyone's we're having an event, we'll put it in the high this year. We've really worked hard, and I'd like to continue with alternate programming. To have events that we don't normally would have, things such as the Gamers Night, or on the top of my head, we've started having debates. And so it's just the idea of having out there, getting people who can think outside of the box and have new and fun ways to get the student population together and have a good time.
So getting people to come to events is again about communication. You gotta reach out to them and make them want to come to your event. So things that I suggested to is getting more involved with first years, your residence life committee, stuff like that. Get RAs more on board with some of the events we throw so they can tell their whole floor about it. Or second years and third years, more social media, more groups, and
I think it really goes full circle. If us as leaders have our doors open and we're a very approachable group and everyone can come to us, when we reach out to you as a student body to come to these events and to be excited about these events, you will be excited because you know what's going on and you know who's running it and you know why we're running it. And so I think that really is the full circle, and I think we can do that.
I have two words, time and interest. First of all, we need to find the time. My student will have an exam next morning, so more people can read. And the second is interest. Every person interested in something different. So we need to find a common interest and get more students involved in that. Share the common interest. Love the vision.
All right. We'll now open the floor to your questions. I would ask, just to make it facilitate a little easier, come on up to table number 1 and ask away. You can direct your question at one candidate or all candidates. I'll give it a timeline for that. Or one group, social, academic, etc. Sorry, social and student affairs. Is there any questions from the floor? Please come on up. Or we'll just start asking them. Come on. Oh, yeah! The question is right.
Okay, so SRC provides a great amount of funding towards clubs, so this question is more towards VP Academic and VP Social. As a VP that looks over clubs, what fundraising opportunities would you try to bring forward for clubs to do? Because they have a limited amount of funds to draw from the SRC due to the amount of clubs.
You all have 45 seconds for each question. I'll start to Dimitri and then move forward. Okay.
Everybody knows that there are fundraisers organized in the Lions and the mall events are here at the game. I have another idea for a fundraiser.
do believe that most of the owners should go onto the clubs themselves. Obviously, if they do require funding from the SRC as a whole, we'd love to provide it should they show significance to the student body and the school itself.
Everyone loves a good bake sale. Other fundraising events like that, bottle drive. Also, coming to your SECs. They're here to help. They can help you come up with ideas for events, how to get creative with them, and help you get in.
Help me, Anna!
Is that good, Emily? That's advice? Okay, perfect. Next.
Hi, my name is Lou. This question is directed to student affairs. I'm just wondering how you're going to deal with the student athletes and what your position is on athletic representative for all the athletic team. Quiet, please.
All right, let's start.
Not the dance team, though.
I've been approached with this question so many times this year as business standards and business. What we have, I agree that it's about time that we have athletic representation on the SRC. But the thing is, we also have to have this for other groups as well. We can't just focus on athletics. It has to be diverse. As we do have business centers, we do have education, natural science, everyone. So it's saying just an athletic one, we can look into that, but for the most part, we have to make it an equal thing for all Bishop students.
I agree with my colleague. I think that if we're going to put something in, we have to have it equal, but I wouldn't be moving forward with that. I think we should be able to incorporate that into the current roles and positions, but we would have to have a specific system of how those students are representing your clubs or your athletics, how they're actually going to communicate with you and contact you so that your voice is being brought forward. For example, maybe having us sit on the athletic committee, which I believe is in effect.
Well, coming from Magny, that was an extremely athletic school for football, for basketball. I know how hard it is for athletes to have the time to work, to even be part of the school itself. So it's going to be really, really, really important to have a student representative. I want to work with someone who's an athlete, and so we can have a dialogue and they can tell us what they need. I know sometimes it's hard for them in academic. We already have some services. And if there's extra services that we need, we want to be able to talk with them so they